more if you want to, or you might already know. Are you the nerd or the free spirit? So we are going to be talking about budgeting next. And it is helpful to know, are you the one who's going to, daily check the spreadsheet? Or are you the one who is like, yeah, let's go. Okay, so first one. Do you actually enjoy balancing a checkbook? Or would you rather balance a spoon on your nose? You think rules are important and should be followed? Or rules are more like suggestions to be considered? Are you always on time? Or does on time mean 15-ish minutes?
I even have to look it on it too.
Do you spend more time planning the vacation itself, or do you spend more time planning the vacation than on the vacation itself? Or do you like to go on vacation and fly to the city trains? How about recipes? Do you follow the recipe? Let's see, do you read the introduction to the preface of the book? You're there for a reason. Or do you skip it? Because, hey, that's do you organize your shirts by color? Or is it just a good thing if you get them hung up? Alright, this is from Dave Ramsey, so it says Dave, but I will insert my name. You can't wait for Jessica to teach about budgeting. Or last night, did you consider faking an illness? Living for the moment sounds irresponsible for you, or living for the moment sounds like the soundtrack of your life? How about clutter? Can't stand it? Or is it just character? Okay, so I think this is helpful for everyone, but especially if you're married. Because in relationships, there's often one nerd and one free spirit. They have to come together on this. Anna, go to the next slide. You know what that is? My closet. Which am I? Nerd. Okay, so short sleeves. Long sleeves.
Oh my goodness.
Button-downs.
Wow.
It doesn't always look like that.
It doesn't.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you identify which of these outfits you made yourself?
How about which one is this morning? So, the thing about me, both Andre and I have characteristics of both. He's the one who likes to plan the vacations. He will build a spreadsheet for me for our vacation budget, so that we know how much the plane tickets or how much the hotel will be. He estimates for food in various countries. He tells me how much, going to see the monkeys will cost or whatever. So that is his nerd department. And he actually recently did clean his closet, so I can't really give him too much of a hard time there, but usually I can't get in his closet. So I think we are not usually all just straight down one. But like with our budget, I check our bank account every morning. That's just part of my routine, make sure everything's okay. We've had experiences where our debit card number was stolen and all of our money was taken out of our account. And it was on a Friday and the bank's fraud department was closed. So we spent a weekend with no money. So that's just more of a comfort thing for me. I'm not going to tell you all, you must check your bank account every day and make sure it's completely reconciled every penny. But that's my thing, because I tend toward the nerd column. It doesn't mean I don't want to have enough fun. I have fun. And having a budget also, even for Andre, who would tend probably toward the free spirit side, having a budget makes him more comfortable, just all around. So both are good in this world. Nerds need to have fun. Free spirits still need a budget. Okay? Annika, next. Okay, this is where we're going to start filling things in. So if you have a phone with a calculator, you want to get it out? Want to? Okay, what to do, not your money telling you what to do, okay? So it is for you to plan. It is a directive. You tell your money where to go and what to do. Next slide. On I go. Okay, so the budget how-to, written, and by written, I mean pen and paper, but also you can use a spreadsheet, you can use software. We used Quicken to keep track of our checkbook for a long time.
What did you just say?
Quicken. So that is a software that you purchase. They, just a specific on them, they now want you to update every year or they will not connect to your bank, but we're in Korea, so they wouldn't connect to your bank anyway. But that is a software that you buy. Or a website, and there are all kinds of fantastic websites out there that are good budgeting tools. We used mint.com, and it is not Minted. Minted is a stationery company. Mint.com, they will connect to your bank for free. They have all kinds of ads for credit cards all over their website. But they will, what was the one thing that they can't track investments, I think is what it is, but they will track, they will pull everything together. So I can go to mint.com, I can see my bank account from USAA, I can see my bank account from Discover, I can see my Navy Federal Credit Union, all in one place. So that's the good thing about that one. But you can also do goals in it. So like if you have a goal of, I want to buy a $5,000 car when I get back to the US, I can say, I've got, a year to save that up. I'm going to do this amount a month, and I'm going to put that money in this bank account, and then it will keep track of that, tell you how you're doing. The other one that I really like is a new one. It's just come out in the last month or two. It's called everydollar.com. And it is much more of an actual budget tool. It is free unless you want to connect to your bank, and then it's $99 a year. If you're in Korea, you're probably not connected to the bank anyway, because they do not support Korean banks. They're working on Canadian. So that one it is put out by Dave Ramsey. It will also keep track of where you are in the baby steps. It is free and there are no ads.
$1.
Everydollar.com.
I thought that one, which one did my dog?
If you want it to connect to your bank.
Oh, gotcha.
So with that one, you put in your income, you put in your expenses, just like you would on paper. Okay, so the first thing you do when it comes to a budget is you write down your income. Because if you don't have that, you don't have a budget because you have no money. All right, and then expenses. Top down, non-discretionary to discretionary. Non-discretionary, you must pay. Okay? You must pay your student loan. You must pay your rent, lights, and water. You must pay, that's non-discretionary, what you must pay. Discretionary, going out to eat, new shirt, new shoes, new purse, new noon day. And then zero-based. Zero-based means when you are done with your budget, it should look like you have no money. Okay? That is your goal, is to give, that's why it's called everydollar.com. You give every dollar a job. Every dollar a name. Okay? At the end, you should have a big zero. All right, next slide. Okay, so this page. All right, up in the, okay, so this is the things we're going to go over. Giving, saving, housing, utilities, food, clothing, transportation, medical insurance, personal recreation, and debts. Next slide. All right, up at the top in the right-hand corner, monthly take-home pay. The first time I did this, I did our entire pay, okay, before taxes, because it is good to know how much you pay in taxes, okay? A few things come out of Andre's paycheck every month, so we never see the money. So taxes, our health insurance, our dental insurance, a life insurance. His TSP comes out of that. So there's a bunch of things that come out before before Andreas ever paid. The first time I did this, I included everything in the budget just because it is good to know. And once you know, then you can just stick with your excuse me, take home pay. Okay? Because now in the back of my mind, I have an idea. Okay? And I have a paper or a record online that I can go back to if I'm ever wondering, how much do we pay for life insurance? All right, so Dave Ramsey, Christian man, starts with giving at the top. Should you give while you are in your debt snowball? What do you think? Okay, I say yes. And I think Jay will cover this later. This is not about a legalistic thing. Okay, you give your first fruits. Okay? It's not yours, it's God's thing. Okay? Now, does that mean that you are 10% or you're going up? No. Does it mean I have to give 10%, therefore I cannot feed my children? No, you feed your children. You pay your rent. Okay? All right, so under each section they have a suggested percentage. These are ballpark. We really bust some of them. But at least we know it. Okay, so emergency fund. Even though Andre and I have our 3 months of expenses, we still pad this a little bit, and we pad it to the tune of about 4%. Andre's TSP comes out of his check at the beginning. He puts in 10%, the government puts in some. So that I do not include in our percentages, but we do fund our IRAs fully, and that ends up being about 11% of our take-home pay. I say our because it's me. That's how it is when married. And the kids' college funds, we do fund those. They are not, you can put in $2,000 a year for your kids into an ESA, and that's what we do. Right? It turns out to be about 6 6% of Andre's take-home pay for all 3 kids. Okay? Housing. We do not pay for housing here, so that is a 0. If we did, our percentages would look a lot different. And I know that your housing, a lot of you have housing included. So yeah. However, if you're looking to rent or looking to buy, the rule of thumb is 25 to 30% of your take-home pay go toward your housing. So just a rule of thumb. If you're over 35%, they call you house poor. Too much of your money is tied up in your house. Makes it harder to eat. Utilities. Again, we don't pay a lot of these. Actually, phone is the only one we pay. And that's less than 1%. So that one is really low. And I will, when we owned a house, there are a couple different ways to do trash. Both of the houses we have owned, our trash bill has come out of our property taxes. So in one of the houses in Texas, everyone had an alley, and in the alleys there were all kinds of dumpsters, and so that's where all our trash went, dumpsters. And in Maryland, we had the city trash picked up our trash, so it was included in our property tax. Here, of course, we buy bags. My parents, there are, I don't know if this is a Minnesota-wide thing, but in Richfield, there are tons of trash companies, and my parents pay monthly to the company of their choosing. Okay, so the next one, food. This category turns out to be about 18% for us. It's gone up a lot in Korea. So this, our groceries are fairly fixed, but the restaurant one is one we cut a lot. So like we're going to Kuala Lumpur at the end of the month. So for the next 2 weeks, I don't put anything in this category. so I won't be cooking over there. So that goes for that. We do not split up adult and children clothing. I put money toward that every month. If I do not spend it, it stays there. All of my children needed new shoes this period. Okay? But I've been saving that money, and so that's okay. So no surprises. Children's feet are going to grow. That's what happens. So if I don't spend it by the end of the pay period, it's going to sit there because we will need new clothes eventually. Okay. Let's see. What's next? Transportation. We do about 1% on gas. It's not a huge expense here. It's actually less than a quarter of what we were paying in the U.S. because we don't drive as often.
Plus the every pay period, I get the allocation for my T-Money card, so we put that under transportation.
Yeah, so that's under, I put that under other, which is Andre's commute. So that's there. We also save about 14% for our car replacement. Okay. We know that when we go back to the States, we will most likely need a second car. It's not a surprise, so we're saving for it so we can pay cash for a car when we go back. So our one car is certainly aging. It's about 11 years old, has 160,000 miles on it. It will also eventually need to be replaced. So just stop and say that this takes a lot of surprises out of life. Okay? We'll be prepared. Medical. I know nothing about this in Korea. So there you go. Fill her in. Next slide on again. Is on life insurance, health insurance. Those are two things that come out of Andre's pay before we see it. So I do not usually include them in our percentages. I do take a look at it, make sure nothing crazy is going on. We do pay renter's insurance and auto insurance here. It's much, much less than it was in the US, which is nice. And there are companies who do identity theft protection. We don't do that. Long-term care insurance is not something any of you guys need to worry about unless it's for your parents. It's advised that you get it after age 60. A lot of the time what happens is that men die before their wives, statistically. Husband goes into a nursing home, burns through all of the money, and then dies, and then wife has nothing left. Get long-term care insurance if you're over 60. Next one, we have, I'm going to go all the way down to pocket money and hers. It seems like a lot of times, and what has happened in our relationship too, is that one person is in charge of the day-to-day finances and the other one doesn't have a clue and has to ask for money. And in our case, I am not the breadwinner, and so that's not cool. So it's just good for us to each have a little pot of money that is ours. My thing is going out for coffee, going out for lunch with some girls, or whatever. That is okay to do with my money. Andre doesn't like coffee. He likes to go sometimes out for lunch instead of packing something. If he wants to pack something, that comes out of our grocery budget. If not, he uses that out of his discretionary. Do you have something to say, Andre? You look like you want to say something.
No, I really like having that sort of as a budgeted item because it was getting to a point where, like, let's say there's going to be a work thing, like an after work thing, people are going to go out for barbecue or something. I would have to go to Jessica and be like, honey, can I have $20 so that I can go to this thing? Which is really kind of a weird thing because it's like, I'm like Jessica said, I'm one who has a job and the money's going buying
And I'm
food and we're saving for this, and then because she has a zero budget, she's like, well, I'm sorry, we don't have anything, we're at zero, so no.
So I used to ask him, he gets paid every 2 weeks, I used to ask him, what do you need for these 2 weeks? But then something comes up
I'd be like, I
or
don't
whatever, and then I'm like, well, where do I take this from? Do I take it from our car fund, or do we just try to not drive as much, so I take it out of the gas fund, or, you know.
It's really nice to have a unobligated, undefined pocket money fund. And what I like to do personally is when I don't spend it, then I put it into my long-term savings account for other big projects and plans I have for someday when I'm older. For
the
my airplane
It
fund or
is
something
really
like
is
that,
the airplane fund.
And what I like about that is because then I even get to say, oh, you know what? Instead of buying the $15 lunch, I'm gonna buy the $6 lunch. And I'm when you're actually saving money instead of just like getting the cheaper price, it motivates you to be a little bit more thoughtful about how you use money.
So when Andre worked at the Pentagon, there's all kinds of restaurants in the Pentagon. He would often go for breakfast with a couple other people to the Subway there and get a Subway breakfast sandwich. And I'd say, well, there were a couple guys giving him a hard time because he would never get something, I forget what it was, the bacon or something. It was an extra $1. And guys would say, oh, it's just $1. And he was like, yeah, but if I do that every day, and then it adds up. And the guy was like, oh yeah, but that's just, $5 a week. It's only like $20 a month. And then he started going, oh, so that's a lot of money at the end, just from not getting the bacon. So, and I have things like this too. I will save up my money because I really like fabric. That's my thing. We actually, part of our budget is a sewing fund because I sew for kids' clothes and things like that, and gifts that we are giving to people as a family. But I have a lot of fabric, and that's just my thing. Alright, what's next?
And just one other sort of caveat or anecdotal thing on that is, for me, like Jessica said, she loves to like buy fabric and things. I feel much better knowing that we've agreed upon a budget of, hey, this is how much of every paycheck is going into this sewing fund. Because then when I come home and I see Jessica has a stack of 10 different yards of fabric that she found at the fabric store, instead of being like, oh my goodness, how much did you spend?